Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Infinite Danger Room. I'm Matt Price. I'm here with Chris Borthick and Anthony Brown, and today we're going to do a Marvel villain draft. We've done a lot of hero drafts to make superhero teams. This time we're going to do a villainous roundup, get our top six, our Sinister Six, although not necessarily the Sinister Six, villains to face off against really any Marvel team, whether they would show up in the Avengers or X-Men or face Spider-Man. We're going to try to get a team that can do a lot of different things and face off against our heroes and provide them a run for their money with six baddies on each of our teams. And so we pre-selected, I guess, the draft. I'll go first, Chris will go second, Anthony will go third, and we're going to try to get 6 villains on our team from the Marvel Universe and see who can come up with maybe the biggest threats or who might make them more an interesting story out of them, or however we want to go with that. So are we ready to kick it off, everybody?
Let's do it.
I hate to be obvious, but I'm going to take Thanos. That's my first pick. I hate to be obvious. But Infinity Gauntlet's like one of my favorite Marvel stories. He's a prominent Marvel villain. In one issue, he had a helicopter. If you look back in the Marvel Team Up days, he probably won't use it in my story that we would come up with. But I'm going to take Thanos, likely to be the big bad of the upcoming Avengers films, as my first bad guy off the board.
All right. Well, that's a powerful pick. I'm going to go with the tried and true, going to make Anthony upset with me, Dr. Doom.
It's a nice one.
The ultimate Fantastic Four villain, but, he pretty much can terrorize anyone at any time. So he's brilliant, he's magical, and he's got a whole nation behind him. So that's mine.
Fair enough. You were right. He was my first pick, but I had a backup plan because I knew I was picking last, and so mine is going to be Baron Zemo, another character that I really enjoy, especially based on his work in Thunderbolts and how they've used him over the years recently. So my first pick is Baron Zemo. And then I guess because we're going to snake this, I get my second pick.
Let's snake it backwards.
And so my number 2 pick is going to be Ares.
Okay.
And he's gone both ways as a hero and a villain, but he died as a member of the the Dark Avengers in Siege. So because the last time we saw him, he was a villain, I'm going to roll with him as a villain here and have him working under Baron Zemo on my team.
All right. Well, so for my number 2 pick, let's see here. I think I'm going to go with Kang.
It's a good one.
Kang and Doctor Doom together. It's a nightmare of epic proportions. If they can get along. But I want to keep that dynamic interesting.
That's kind of what I'm going to wonder about. Like, do you go big power, big power, big power, or do you go, people who might fall in line with your team? Or some hybrid thereof, and I'm not real sure yet which way I'm going to go. But I guess I got to pick a couple people here pretty quick.
Yep.
Okay. So let me think. I'm going to go with. I have no idea how these guys will work together.
Okay.
Probably going to be a disaster. I'm going to take Loki.
Loki. Wow. Yeah.
Because he's a powerful guy, he's got a lot of options. He can tear things up. And then I need at least one lieutenant who's actually going to listen and do things. So I'm going to take Crossbones.
Oh yeah, good choice.
Because he will probably at least get some stuff done while these other two guys are arguing. They got a lot of power, but he'll keep the villainy moving forward. So
agreed.
So those are my 2 and 3.
All right. Well, let's see. It would work well. Let's see here. Gosh, so many choices. I'm going to go with Dr. Octopus, number 3. I mean, I think the arguments will be interesting, but they can both glare at Dr. Octopus and he'll probably do what they want, so...
Yeah, because Dr. Octopus is a guy who's a B-level villain or a C-level villain who in his own mind thinks that he's A-level.
Right.
And the thing that sticks out to me most about that was during Superior Spider-Man, his last arc in the Spider-Man body, where he thought that he had outsmarted the Green Goblin or whoever was pretending to be the Green Goblin, because that wasn't really Norman Osborn in that series. And then he comes to find out, like, yeah, I got outsmarted. I'm not as smart as I think that I am. And he's always serving as someone else's underling. So yeah, I think in the scenario for your team, like, it would be interesting to see him plot the scheme against Doom and Kang, and they're just like, yeah, we're ready for you. Like, stay in your lane. You get beat by a guy that doesn't have, like, super powers all the time, and, like, we take on the Fantastic Four and send them to hell, or, like, it takes an entire squadron of Avengers to beat Kang. So, for me, my third villain, I'm going to take Baron Mordo, just so I can have some diversity with the group that I'm using, and I feel like he brings some power to the group as well. It looks like I have a very magical set of villains on my hand that Baron Zemo's trying to control. But I'll bring in some more street level or I guess kind of basic guys along the way to even things out. But Baron Mordo is my third pick. For my fourth pick, I'm going to bring in Taskmaster.
Nice.
Because he's kind of the essential henchman type, and he will work well in a pinch in a fight. So I think pairing him and Ares together, they could do a lot of damage in a fight against some heroes. So I'm gonna grab those two.
Cool. Well, I think I'm going to go with, for my number 4, some big muscle, Sabretooth. Nasty muscle, though. Kind of street level, but at the same time, he's pretty tough. So,
Okay, well, I got to pick 4 and 5, right?
Yep.
We're assuming that Thanos must have some kind of mystical, cosmic way to keep these guys in line.
yeah, pretty much.
Otherwise, it's already not going to work. So that's going to make these picks maybe less crazy than they would be otherwise. We're assuming he has some ability to keep these guys in line. I'm going to say number 4. I'm going to take Magneto,
Oh, yeah. Well.
and then I'm going to come around the horn and take Galactus.
Oh, God.
Wow. Go big or go home.
Jeez.
We're assuming he has some way of keeping these guys in line, which will probably be dismantled by the end of the story by the heroes. But, I mean, I think so far, this is a pretty scary team.
Yeah.
When they're coming at you. So, those are my picks.
Wow.
Again, story-wise, I've only got one guy who's going to listen to anybody in Crossbones. The other guys are all going to be kind of doing their own thing. But hopefully, I'm assuming, Thanos has he's found some, cosmic whatchamacallit, and he's going to make them all kind of follow his thing up until the end of the story.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with an old school villain for 5, Graviton.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, he's always tough.
He's tough, but he will also probably follow orders, even if he, like Dr. Octopus, thinks he's up there. He'll still bow to Kang and Dr. Doom, I think.
I don't disagree with that. He has a lot of power, but they don't necessarily utilize it as much as they could.
Right.
Next up for me, I'm going to take Avalanche. He's a classic X-Men villain, and he provides some diversity in power versus some of these other guys. Mm-hmm. And he's a guy that I really enjoyed. Not that he's had a lot of utilization. As a matter of fact, the last time he was seen was in Uncanny Avengers #1, and he was getting his brain dissected. But in this case, because villains always seem to make a comeback, I'm going to go ahead and take Avalanche and use him on my team.
All right. Well, let's see. Well, 6, the last pick. Do I go like crazy big, or do I just do somebody scary? Oh yeah, you got 6. That's right.
Exactly.
You got to do 6.
You got to do your
So
6.
for my 6th pick, again, I'm thinking about this as a team that would actually function well together and be able to accomplish some things as a group. And so I don't know if the Wrecking Crew counts as one pick by themselves or as a group of 4. But considering you guys have some really heavy hitters, I'm going to go ahead and take the Wrecking Crew as my 6th pick to kind of even out, even though you guys have a lot more power I feel like this team is more believable working together than some of the other ones. So, give
You
me
can
the
say
wrecking
me.
crew.
It's all right.
it's really Matt.
I have a feeling I know who your sixth pick is before you even get to
Oh, really? Well,
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you
wasn't
keep-
sure. I wasn't sure I did. So.
If you keep it up, like to me, your sixth pick only makes sense, but we'll see who you pick.
Oh
when you get
well,
there.
I may not be who.
So-
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out like what do I have here? Who am I missing? Touch Doom. Well, I don't know why she would work with them, but I'm gonna pick Hell.
There we go.
So she's coming. Yeah, she's
Hella.
gonna be in the Ragnarok movie soon. So you gotta have like one big movie tie-in. But
There you go. Hella.
Hela,
Queen
yeah, Queen of Hell in Norse mythology. So
Well, I'm interested to see who Anthony thought I was going to pick. I was going to go just kind of to sell some comics with Venom.
oh.
I was going to wrap it up with Venom.
Gotcha.
See, and I thought about Carnage for that reason too, just like because he's terrifying. So,
Right. See, I thought you were going to go with Apocalypse, and then you will have
Oh,
just
yeah.
ran the
I
entire
debated going with Apocalypse at some point earlier on, and he would have been another big cosmic-y type guy.
Well, yeah, I thought
Um,
you were just going to run the gambit and say, here we go with Apocalypse, and 1, 2, 3, go. So,
Yeah, again, there has to be some kind of reason on the board. I mean, I guess kind of like in Acts of Vengeance, so they didn't exactly work together, but they did
they switched and all
switch
that,
things up based on who they're on. I don't know. I don't remember who told them to do what, but there was some kind of cosmic force involved. So yeah, I went kind of big. Apocalypse wouldn't have been bad either, as far as a big super threat. Yeah, I think my team is somewhat designed to implode, but that's the thing with Thanos all the time, right? Like he's always, his schemes are always kind of designed to implode. So this would just be a very big, exciting one when you have like Thanos saying, "Hey, Loki, Galactus, Magneto, boom, let's go, let's take it on."
Let's kill everything.
You'd be freaking out, and you'd be like, "How are they going to come back against all this? That's going to be crazy." So, and you have Crossbones and Venom are a little more street level-y kind of guys,
Right.
to give you kind of a mix there. So, I don't know. What do you think, Anthony? Give me your thoughts on how your team came together.
my team really is with something that I could see actually working as a group to take on like the Avengers, most likely. Although I'd love to see this team take on the X-Men because there are some people within this group that I don't know that I've ever seen the X-Men actually fight the Wrecking Crew, with the exception of like an X-Men that's on the Avengers here or there, actually fight them. I'd love to see Taskmaster and his power set against the X-Men with his photographic reflexes to see some of the things he could come up with. The same thing with some of these mystical villains. Like there are some X-Men here recently, like Ileana and the younger Beast who have dabbled in magic, but there aren't a lot of magic-based villains that the X-Men have faced. So I think that would be a lot of fun. The same thing with someone of Ares' caliber fighting the X-Men as well. Another person that I considered for my sixth spot was Gorgon, but Wolverine kind of dispatched him pretty quickly. But he's a guy that, in reading Secret Avengers or Secret Warriors and some other titles like that he was a character that I really enjoyed.
Chris, what was your strategy for your team?
Well, I mean, I figure they come together sort of. I know it's going to sound weird, somewhat organically, but I figure the plot point, how it all begins, is probably Doctor Doom trying to do something for the soul of his mother once again. Talks to Hell, makes a deal. Hell's like, well, I want these things, and then they make promises to Kang, and Dr. Octopus, Sabretooth, and Graviton can probably just fall in there under the manipulations. But I kind of figured that like Hell's really in charge, even though she's going to let Doctor Doom think he's in charge. And then same thing with Kang. Kang may have a side deal with Hell. So,
well, I think that when you send obviously when she's involved, you're going to send heroes to that realm, and so to see whatever team you're fighting go up against her would be very interesting.
yeah.
Because usually the only people that you see there are Thor and magic-based heroes. So,
Right.
I was just thinking, I didn't do this to the end. kind of a fun story, and this may be similar to something they've done, would be if the Venom symbiote took over these other 5 villains.
Oh my god.
And then you had them,
Oh,
you know, you had like Venom Thanos, Venom Loki, Venom Crossbones, Venom Magneto, Venom Galactus. That'd be Spider-Man would definitely be calling people for help at that point.
You'd be like, what? I don't know.
a Venom Galactus would be the most intriguing because, like, rather than devour planets, like, he would just basically take over the planet and make them all his minions or something like that. Like, it would be, I don't know, I feel like that has the most potential. I know, obviously, at the time we're recording this, they're doing the Venomverse and Edge of the Venomverse and all that stuff. So it would be interesting to see how that would work out with Galactus, the Harbinger of Death, or the Devourer of Worlds, as opposed to the Bringer of Life, or whatever it is that he is in the new Ultimates title, but, like going out and actually ravaging planets that way.
So, I don't know. I think that would be threatening. I think it'd be scary.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's kind of what we came up with our Sinister Six from the Marvel lineups. Went with who's the newest villain on here? I mean, these are mostly kind of classic
Ares,
60s and 70s guys. Yeah, but did Ares, does he show up for the first time in kind of the modern era, in like the 90s plus?
I think so. I don't.
I didn't know if you'd been in the old Thor comics or not back in the day.
That's where that's where I'd have to look. Let's see if we can find him in one of these Marvel encyclopedias or something like that, and see when he made his first appearance. Human Torch Comics 5/8, 1941. But
Was a
also
version
they have
of
him
him?
listed as Thor 129 number issue, and that was in 1966. So he has been around for a little while, but I don't know that the appearances back in the 1960s versus the stuff that's here now.
If he looked the same.
Exactly. Because it was pretty big and controversial when he showed up in Mighty Avengers. And it was just like, oh, wow, Ares got a war. It's a Mighty Avenger.
Right.
So.
I mean, Sabretooth is from the 70s. Venom is from the very late 80s. Crossbones is from the late 80s. Taskmaster is an 80s guy, I think.
70s, 80s.
So in 2006, the character was recast to be more of an anti-hero. He was more of a straight-up villain in the 60s when he fought Thor and Hercules.
Right.
I don't know what he looked like back then. I mean, I just... So a lot of... as is probably not inappropriate, a lot of Stan and Jack type characters, but not exclusively. All right, very cool. Well, who would you have picked? What do you guys think? Would you have gone a different direction? Did we leave out anybody who really should have been on here? We didn't do a ton of Spider-Man villains. Maybe a little more Avengers lean to them to some degree. How would you guys have gone with it? Feel free to send us an email at infinitedangerroom@gmail.com or tweet at us at DangerInfinite on Twitter, or find us on Facebook. Leave us a comment there. We're Infinite Danger Room on Facebook. You can feel free to rate or review the show on iTunes. You can also listen to it on SoundCloud or via newsok.com. For Anthony Brown and Chris Borthick, I'm Matthew Price. Thank you for listening.